You certainly have a lot of experience in multi-platform productions. How many years have you been developing such projects, and what are the biggest challenges?
Good question. So I've been in this for about coming up to 12 years now. So I actually used to be an architect, but I've given that up to write and make films and got involved with this. But I think my main challenges, as you've asked, is how to actually not just create these projects, but actually get an audience to understand that, you know, this is something they can engage with and get some value from. Because I don't think that the industry at the moment has shifted to a place where multi-platform or transmedia is actually ubiquitous and pervasive. So when we get there, hopefully some of the stuff that I'm doing now will be more valuable.
Well, you've mentioned the industry, and then for the last 2 days we've had a lot of different examples of transmedia productions, some of them focusing on business projects. And what you've presented today is very much a social issue. Can you tell a bit more about Searching?
So Searching for me was an idea that came out of an article that I read in a newspaper. It was basically talking about forced marriages and honour killings, and the fact that this is an issue that, even though it exists in a big way, not a lot of people seem to know about it. And I, at the time, was very interested in how you can use storytelling to make a difference, to create some sort of awareness. So Searching was born out of that. It's a way of using transmedia storytelling to see if we can raise awareness and eventually eradicate honour crimes and forced marriages. So it's interesting at the moment because the project, there's lots of different storytelling elements, but I'm very keen to not... Yes, it's about social issues, but I don't want it to be about propaganda or activism. I want it to be about education and awareness.
Are there any means of actually evaluating how successful the project has been in terms of raising the awareness?
At the moment, because so the film project was a finalist at Sundance, so when that finally gets out there, we'll be able to gauge, you know, with known metrics exactly how successful it was. But I'm implementing quite a few transmedia elements, and I use an experienced design methodology that I've developed to actually sort of look at how users interact with the experiences, how much emotional sort of engagement there is, and I'm using that as a measurement tool to gauge success. But it's all a bit sort of DIY at the moment, but hopefully as more of this comes into the public domain, there'll be better metrics to, you know, gauge how successful it is.
I hope it pans out wonderfully. And just one more, maybe not a question, but a question for you to make a comment on the Filmteractive market, which was our Filmteractive. I mean, it's been going on for the last 3 years, but the market is a totally new component. How do you evaluate it as a commissioner of this year's event?
I thought it was successful. I thought it was a great idea, and I actually think that having a market element to something like this is very necessary. There's 3 reasons for that. Is one, a lot of these conferences at the moment, which are about multi-platform and transmedia, have lots of speakers who talk, and then you go away and don't think about it. So what the market does firstly is allow another form of engagement and, you know, interactivity between the audience, the projects, the content, and the people who have a say in whether this content gets made. Second, it gives people a chance. There's a huge gap between the people who have the money and the sort of opportunity and those who have the potential. And there seems to be in the industry at the moment a huge gap between the two. So what this kind of stuff does is really gives people a chance to be inspired and to take that risk to create. And third, it was just, you know, amazing to see something like this available, you know, in Poland, you know, at the sort of Łódź Film School, and it was just inspiring, I think, to create conversation. So I hope it continues, and I think it was very successful.
Thank you for your good words, and let's keep our fingers crossed for the future editions. Thanks, Adipat, and spread the word across the world.
Yes, I will.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.